In the year 2000, Nokia became king. They got to the apex, the economic moat in mobile phone market. In the year 2000, they were able to generate a revenue of 30 billion euro. And then the mobile phone sales amounted or accounted for 72% of the sales Nokia made in the year 2000. Fast forward, in the year 2002, Nokia released 7650. That was the first time they introduced a Symbian operating system. Now, this is a well-imbued phone which has Bluetooth connectivity, infrared, and also a phone that you can use to play music. So we can say that was the first time they introduced a well-built smartphone. Now, it wasn't the first time Nokia introduced or launched a smartphone, because back in 1996, they introduced Nokia 9000. It was also a smartphone, but it wasn't as quality or well built like the one they introduced in the year 2002. Now, in the year 2003 was a mega hit for Nokia business. They introduced Nokia 1100. Do you remember the phone on your screen? They were able to sell 250 million units. And since then, there's no phone company that has been able to break that record. So we yet to see any phone company that will be able to sell more than 250 million units in a single year. It was massive. So you go to the market to buy a phone, it means there's high probability of you getting a Nokia phone. You will buy Nokia because they were controlling over 40% in a mobile phone business. Then in 2005, they started releasing N series and E series. What happened in 2007 after iPhone was introduced? Right? This is where some of analysts and or market analysts will say the fall of Nokia. Now, taking you from the beginning of Nokia, where the founders started with the paper production to rubber production to cable production and then electronics, it tells you that Nokia is a conglomerate business. So if one division falls, it doesn't mean the other area is also going along with the system, the failing business. No. It is the mobile phone market that was facing challenges, or now it's not more in the system. Maybe few people using Nokia now. So I am taking you to my blackboard, and we see the reasons why the Nokia Nokia mobile phone, like people are not purchasing like how it used to be. So let's go to my whiteboard. Okay, so on this my whiteboard, where I call it Yay whiteboard, we are looking at the fall of Nokia mobile phone. Not the Nokia company, but the mobile phone. One thing you need to understand is that the 5G we are using and most of advanced telecommunication equipment we are using today, all of these are produced by Nokia. So we are only talking about why the mobile phone business fall. Now, the first thing we looking at sticking with updated Symbian OS. Now, the operating system, I know you guys know about iOS and Android. Those days, the operating system on Nokia phone is called Symbian operating system. So there is a difference between the Symbian operating system and Android and iOS. Now, if you have a technical knowledge in operating system, Android operating system was built on what we call open source, but the Symbian OS was more like using a hardware component. We're emphasizing on the hardware component. So we are talking about the keypad, the hardware component within the phone, while the Android operating system was like user intuitive. So consumers prefer using Android operating system and even iOS than the Nokia Symbian operating system, that is the OS. So instead of the Nokia switch from the Symbian OS to Android, they delay in that because they feel like then Samsung was also in the business. Samsung was using Android and other companies were using Android. So they feel like, okay, you are using Android, we are sticking to our Symbian operating system. So if Nokia had shifted from Symbian operating system to Android operating system, probably they will be able to catch up with the market, right? Okay, and then the second one is what? Failure to adapt smartphone revolution. Now, when we started using smartphones, so you press on the screen and then you get your keypad, but then they were sticking to the hard keypad. You have your phone, and down of the phone there is a keypad. But Android phone like the Samsung and the Apple, you will just use the type. So they were not able to adapt that innovation early. So it really cost Nokia for other people to take the lead.